So the one I wanted to play devil's advocate on, because
Okay.
is the ones who make rape jokes. So on the surface, I'm going to look like the worst person for maybe playing devil's advocate here. But I
I'm
think
listening.
some people would argue this is infringing on free speech. Now, I think if a guy makes a really horrible, disgusting joke about rape, it's not funny. We shouldn't allow that, and we call that out. But I think maybe from a comedian's point of view, this is what I kept on thinking when I thought of this was comedians, I suppose their job is always to go very close to the line. And if you say what you can and can't say, then you're infringing on that. I just think, well, one question maybe is, where do you draw the line on that? So if we can't make rape jokes, then can we also not joke about what's other things that people like comedians now are joking about 9/11 or joking about the Holocaust? Do we not joke about them as well? So it's where do you draw the line? I think we shouldn't be making like people who aren't comedians shouldn't be making rape jokes. And I think especially I think people should know the comedian they're maybe going to see. So if you don't want to see a comedian who's going to go really close to the line, don't go see Frankie Boyle, because you're going to be very upset at what he has to say. That's just, and again, I don't like rape jokes. I think they are horrible, and I suppose that was just the thing that came to my mind when I read that was some people would say, well, that's infringing on free speech, or comedians wouldn't like that. What do you think?
You were just pondering, yeah. And I think,
Yeah,
again, in society, we kind of jump on people for even just saying, well, I was thinking about. So
yeah,
happy to always listen. I have to disagree slightly.
okay,
So not even slightly, I kind of disagree.
sure,
So I get what you're saying about the comedians. I do think you kind of pay to go to an experience where they make you feel uncomfortable and they teeter on the line of inappropriate, and but you have to remember you're paying to go and see that experience, so that's a choice. I think what people are meaning when they say the rape jokes is general people in society. So
yeah,
groups of guys at school or at the workplace or in your even in your friend group making those jokes incessantly, or even not incessantly, but just occasionally. You have to question a little
yeah,
bit, like, what do you find funny about that? I think someone's humor says a lot about their personality. And we've done a few of these interviews. I am not, huge on the whole cancel culture thing. I'm an advocate that I do think we need free speech, but like you're saying, where do we toe the line? I would toe the line on rape jokes, because if I heard a man or a friend, and I'm actually trying to think of any examples where I spoke, and I can't think of a specific example, but I think I have heard men, and I have actually in a pub, so I do remember an example. I'm not going to repeat what they said, but
mm,
they made a really crude joke, and all the guys were like, hee hee, like
yeah,
laughing about it. And I said, ew. I was like, you
mm,
can't say that. I just kind of turned around, I was like, you can't say that. And
mm,
because why do you need to make that joke? Why do you find that appropriate? And I'm not saying that all of these guys will go and do the thing that the man joked
yeah.
about. But again, is it this kind of where you've got five guys, would one do that and maybe not the other four? Does that make sense? Like, you just don't
Yeah,
know why, and this goes back to what we were saying earlier about men egging their friends on. Um, Maybe friends need to hold friends more accountable, even
yeah.
if
I think
by saying, "Oh, mate, that's disgusting. You can't say that," But even just making them think, "Oh shit, okay, no one bought that one. Okay, I won't make that again. Maybe that
yeah,
was too far." Like, hold your friends accountable, even in a nice way. You don't have to fall out with them.
yeah.
Um, but I just don't find. I actually find it quite uncomfortable when people make those jokes. If I was
I
paying to
think
go to a comedian, that's different.
yeah.
Just
I think
know.
at the very least, this is one of the points that needs a bit of like more context. In
Yeah.
that, maybe one way of drawing a line on that one is you shouldn't make jokes about rape victims. Like I can't think of a single thing that could be funny about a rape victim, but I've seen comedians who would make fun of the rapist. So comedians making fun of Harvey Weinstein, for example, that could be classed as a rape joke, but
That's different though, because
it's
that's not.
poking fun at but that's what I mean. It maybe should be a more
Yeah,
context in there. Like it's not.
yeah,
It should be don't make jokes about rape victims. I'm sure we all agree on that one at the very least. But
yeah.
poking fun at the rapists,
The perpetrator, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, because you kind of make a joke about how disgusting he is, or
yeah,
you kind of, yeah. So that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different. You're right. It needs to be context. But if I think that post is more, well, whoever wrote it, if they ever see this, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they're probably more talking about in general
yeah,
when you have a group of friends making a joke about something really horrible that does happen to people, like it does. And not specifically joking about, oh, Harvey Weinstein's a beast, like something like that, or a pedo, whatever.
yeah,
It's joking about when you hear, like I said, in that pub instance, it was directly joking about something awful that does actually happen to a lot of people.
yeah.
So why do you need to make those jokes? Is it to show off? Is it to
Mm-hmm.
get a reaction? Is it for like, why do you need to do that? And my whole point was, like I said, if you've got 5 friends and all the guys laugh at this joke, yeah, 4 of them might not do that. And you'd like to think that
Mm-hmm.
people would never do something like that. But does anybody know, any rapists that have actually went out and done that? Did anyone think before that they would do that? This is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. We
I
can, yeah,
think
yeah.
I think there's some for that example of like the 5 men. One might take it to think, well, it's okay then if they're joking about it, then it must be acceptable behaviour.